Most advice will mess you up unless you know how to tell good advice from bad advice, what to listen to, and what to ignore. The topic of today's brief episode is how to make sure the advice you're getting is good advice and it's coming from a good source, and more importantly, it will get you the information and the help that you need and will not introduce any kind of downsides when you go to implement it. Most advice will mess you up because advice is only as good as the context that it's rooted in. What works brilliantly in one situation can lead to a disaster in another. Every approach comes with trade-offs and hidden consequences, and blindly following advice can easily put you on a path that's misaligned with who you are and where you want to go. The real power lies in being able to act with awareness when competing values are at play. Today we're talking about what makes good advice actually good and what makes bad advice worse than no advice at all. I'll show you how to tell the difference quickly, and by the end I'll share a hidden implication that quietly wrecks more lives than any piece of bad advice ever could. So let's jump right in. Most often when we ask for advice, whether it's about our career, our health, our relationships, we're trying to shortcut the pain and get to the success quicker. We want to avoid mistakes, save time, save money, dodge the heartbreak, the burnout, and the regret. We think, why not learn from people who've been there before? And hey, that's not crazy, that's actually being smart. But it's not the full story. See, most advice only works when the person giving it had the same exact constraints and exact same goals. Same background, same values, same risks they could take, same resources, same limitations, same trade-offs they were willing to accept. And that never happens. Not completely, not really. So the reality is, all advice makes sense some of the time, but none of it makes sense all of the time. And if you take it in blindly, you're not just adopting a strategy, you're adopting someone else's assumptions, someone else's priorities, someone else's version of success. And that could be dangerous. Let's say, for example, you want to start a new business. When I wanted to start a new business, everyone told me, make an amazing product or create an amazing service, something perfect, something polished. If it's good enough, it'll sell on its own. And I believed them. I spent months building prototypes, finding a manufacturer, designing the packaging, perfecting the brand, the logo, the color scheme, building out a website. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't ask anyone if they actually wanted the damn thing. I didn't test pricing. I didn't check if it solved a real problem or just a problem that I thought people were going to give me money for. I didn't even look at my competition in the same area. Because an advice I followed made sense only if you were a company with reach, experience, a marketing budget, and an existing customer base. And I certainly wasn't. So I crashed hard. Successful businesses don't start by building perfect things. They start by solving real problems for real people, usually in the messiest, scrappiest, ugliest way possible, until they can prove that something is actually viable in the market that they serve. This might be something many of you can relate to. When I wanted to get healthier, I did what most people do. I bought some supplements, signed up for a gym membership, got a health checkup, got my blood work. But I was still stressed, still sleeping only 4 hours a night, still eating like crap, still working a job I didn't like, with a commute that sucked the life out of me. None of the healthy habits stuck, because the advice I was following treated symptoms, not the root causes. It wasn't until I started cooking more meals at home, like just one small change, and the rest started falling into place. That one shift had more impact than any supplements I've ever taken or all my fancy workout routines at the gym ever did. And here's another one. I wanted to write more. I wanted to start a blog. So I started reading more. Everyone says good writers read a lot. And that's true, they do. But reading didn't make me write. What did? Taking a character I knew, usually me, and pushing their story forward on paper. You can accept the full lifestyle that a certain approach requires and go all in, or you can say, that's not for me, and continue looking elsewhere. Half measures don't work here. Every choice has costs. Every hack you copy without understanding carries unintended consequences. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to sacrifice and what you're not. The right strategy is the one that works with your values, your priorities, and your limits, not someone else's. So let's bring it home. The pain point here is very simple. You're looking for direction, but if you don't examine the context behind the advice you take, you might end up chasing someone else's dream while slowly walking away from your own. The real danger isn't just in taking bad advice, it's in living with the consequences of advice that was never meant for you in the first place. So take a breath, ask better questions, look deeper, be more selective with the mentors you choose to follow. And before you follow someone else's path, make sure it leads somewhere you actually want to go. Thanks for watching. And hey, if this hits home, share it with someone else who is getting bombarded with advice right now. They might need to hear this too.